What's going on, you guys, and welcome to the Splash Zone. Now, I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for the love and support and the patience. I know I took a little hiatus. It was like a 2-month break. Life happens sometimes, and it kind of pulled me away from making videos, but I am back, and I just recently gave away my 250 subscriber giveaway. But guys, within that time, we were able to surpass 500 subscribers. So thank you so much for that. So what I'm gonna do for this video is, of course, we're gonna talk about my 5 most favorite Pokemon ever. But first, I wanna talk about the 500 subscriber giveaway that I wanna give to you guys. And I'm really excited because honestly, I couldn't do this without you. So let's talk about the details first before we step into the video, because let's be honest, you guys like giveaways, and who doesn't wanna hear about that first? Well, what's going to happen is I am going to give away a Japanese Battle Partners booster box to anyone who lists, comment down in the section below, who lists their 5 favorite Pokemon. That's all you got to do. You just respond to my question, which is I'm going to ask, what are your 5 most favorite Pokemon ever? And then you just list them down below. Easy entrance, and then I do a randomizer, and there's a lucky winner from that. So that's what we're going to do for this giveaway. And I'm excited, guys, and that's what I do. I like to give away because without you guys, I wouldn't be able to have a channel. So thank you so much for doing that. But now let's jump to the substance of the video, which is gonna be my 5 favorite Pokemon of all time, starting with number 5. So number 5 is going to be Dragonite. Well, Dragonite was probably the first dragon Pokemon that I ever truly liked. And I remember my first time ever seeing Dragonite in the anime was when Ash and Pikachu were like in the dark, and you just saw like the ocean, and you just saw this big beast with glowing eyes, something like this, just kind of just giving us like this presence of like, wow, what is that big Pokemon? And eventually we saw that it was Dragonite. And Dragonite has been an iconic Pokemon ever since, and it's been one of my favorite Pokemon ever since I was a kid. And let me tell you this, it is still, in my opinion, the best card in Fossil, hands down. I think it's the most expensive as well. I'm not quite sure, but it might be the most expensive card in Fossil as well. So Dragonite just always has played a special role in my heart. And also, let's face it, Dragonite, super powerful, high defense. So if you had him in a video game, or you ever faced him in a video game, you knew that you're going to have a tough task, especially in Pokemon Go as well. If you guys have Pokemon Go, if you caught a Dragonite, you know that you were already ready to bust down all those gems and just take over. So Dragonite also, to me, just being a dragon Pokemon, I love dragon Pokemon. I know most people consider Charizard a dragon, but when we talk about pure dragon types, Dragonite to me has been the best. And of course, I'm a Gen 1 guy. You'll probably see in this list, but I do have a couple of other gens in here. All right, at number 4, I have one of the starters, right? And that's gonna be Bulbasaur. Now, why not Charmander? Why not Squirtle? For some reason, when we all got those Game Boy Colors and we got the red version, the blue version, or the yellow version, we were asked to pick a Pokemon. I don't know why, but I always had this fascination of picking Bulbasaur. And the truth is, he was the easy way out. Let's be real. I mean, first 2, you were strong against Brock, right? You were strong against Misty. And then after that, you faced Lieutenant Surge, which honestly, you weren't too strong against, but he wasn't strong against you either. And then you faced Erica, which it was pretty much the same kind of Pokemon, right? But I just remember Bulbasaur just being my favorite Pokemon from that era. Even though I do feel that Charizard is the best, highest evolved form, I do think Bulbasaur was the best starter. Bulbasaur was just picked by me 90% of the time, and because of that, I just always liked them, and I always liked the cards that came with Bulbasaur. I'm so glad and that Scarlet and Violet has a hit with him in Stellar Crown along with Squirtle, because Bulbasaur's never really been like a chase card unless it was like base set, especially first edition. So that's why Bulbasaur has always resonated with me, because of the fact that he was always the one I went for in the games, and also he's a Gen 1, he's one of the starters, he helped start it all, so that's why Bulbasaur is my number 4. At number 3, I don't hear many people say this, but from 2nd gen, there's not many people who say that Houndoom is one of their favorite Pokemon. Houndoom most definitely is one of mine. One, I'm a huge dog fan. I love dogs. Who doesn't love dogs? Who doesn't love pets in general, but especially dogs? Sorry guys, I don't really care for cats. But I love your cats, okay? All right, it's fine. I just won't own one. But Houndoom was just so cool, and I always loved having them in the games, or even just owning the cards, right? There's not much to say more about Houndoom, just the fact that you really, really, truly liked how he looked. there weren't that many dog form Pokemon back in the day. I mean, I know, of course, there was Arcanine and stuff, and forgive me if I am missing one, but I feel like Houndoom was the one. I was like, man, that Pokemon looks sick. And also, I am a big fire type guy, so I thought it was really, really cool to always have a Houndoom. And also, if you played Pokemon Go, Houndoom was usually probably your first Pokemon that you had that was super good. And Houndour was really easy to catch, so you can get your Houndoom really quick. And it was just really, really cool to just own that Pokemon a lot. And also, I just like how it looks. I love the cards that come with Houndoom too. Now, sadly, I just don't think it's ever been like one of the top hits in any set ever. But it is really cool in like Neo Genesis, getting the first edition. It's one of the best cards on the planet. And also the Mega Houndoom, love that card too. So Houndoom is my number 3. I've always just liked the card. All right, and going for number 2, both of these cards, my number 2 and my number 1, both resonate kind of deeply with me because, well, they have kind of like a life story with it too. So my number 2 is going to be Mewtwo. Well, 1, it is the first boss monster you could think of in Gen 1. And you look at the first Pokemon movie, what was the major villain or the major boss Pokemon? It was Mewtwo. Of course, we saw Mew and stuff, and Mew was more of like the good, legendary Pokemon, whereas Mewtwo was like, oh man, like this is a tough Pokemon to beat. And then, of course, if you played the old games, you would wait to the end, you'll go to this cave, and you would find a Mewtwo level 70, and you would try to cap it, and that way you would be able to have your Mewtwo. And that kind of solidified the game for you after that, right? You pretty much beat all the gym leaders, and then you get Mewtwo at the end. Always save your Master Ball for that. Always did. So I thought it was always really cool. And honestly, Mewtwo was just the most misunderstood Pokemon of all time. So, of course, he's villainized. But really, what happened was Mewtwo was just a genetic freak. And he was tested on. And these tests were brutal, right? So all he knew was harm and pain. So whenever you experience, especially a human who's been through harm and pain, they only know how to reflect pain back, right? And then, so that's what Mewtwo did. That's why he was destroying all the Pokemon. That's why he was wreaking havoc in Pokemon the movie. It's because he was really tortured. But at the end of the day, he had compassion. That's what made Mewtwo kind of like a good Pokemon, was the fact that, yes, it went through a lot of hurt, and that's why there was so much chaos that came in Mewtwo. But afterwards, we saw that there is a heart, there is a good. And I think we see that in a lot of people today, right? Like they went through a lot, and maybe they're going through a lot, and their actions show it, but really deep down, they're a good person. So Mewtwo also just being legendary, having some of the best cards in the history of the game. That's why Mewtwo is my number 2. And if you haven't guessed it, my number 1 is the underdog of them all. I pretty much model this channel after it going forward. It's going to be Magikarp. Now, Magikarp is like that underdog, and you get it and you don't know why because it can't do nothing, right? So if you had it in the game, pretty much if you got Magikarp, you couldn't battle with him. I mean, you would just splash all over the place, right? So you wouldn't be able to do anything. So you would have to send out Magikarp and then substitute him out for another Pokemon and then get XP from there. And you did it over and over and over again. And what happened was eventually Magikarp got tackled and it was eventually able to battle some Pokemon, but it was really, really hard to win with Magikarp, right? So it's always cool to think of that as a life lesson too. Like we go in not knowing what to do, we kind of need help of others, and then all of a sudden, once you get enough help and once you get enough experience, right, XP, get what I said there, you turn into a beast, a monster, one of the best monsters of all time, one of the best Pokemon of all time, one of the most popular, Gyarados, right? Eventually, we grow so much to where we become powerful in what we do. Maybe it's our careers. Maybe it's something that we found that we're really good at and we try to become a force in it. That's what Magikarp is, and that's what Magikarp embodies. It is a harmless fish that turns into an absolute monster of the sea. And that's what I love about Magikarp. And also just the fact that he's my favorite Pokemon because he's a derp. Let's just be real. He's a derp and he's an underdog. And I've always been a lover of the underdogs. And also, let's just face it, Magikarp, the Pokemon cards itself, has some of the best out there. The Pokemon cards are amazing. I love the Pokemon cards, and I finally have my Grail, the one that I always wanted. And this is my favorite Pokemon of all time. And I probably will never sell it, no matter what. Like the Paldea Evolved Magikarp. This is my most prized possession. And I know that's not the most valuable, but I do believe that at the end of the day, it's going to be the most prized Scarlet and Violet card. I understand we're still on Prismatic, we're still on 151 or Destined Rivals, and we're still looking at all those cards as maybe the better cards, but that's because it's fresh. That's because it's new. But if you think about 4 years down the line and people look back at this, I don't think anyone's going to look past the Magikarp. Its gem rate is hard, and it's one of the best 10s you can get right now, and it's one of the best arts by one of the most famous artists out there right now. So that's why I love Magikarp. It's going to be the foundation of my channel, and I cannot wait to see where the channel goes. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. So remember the giveaway. Please put down your top 5 favorite Pokemon to enter the giveaway. Just comment down in the comment section below. And if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. It does a lot for me. And as we hit milestone subscribers, we're going to continue to do giveaways. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day, and bye-bye.